While flying home from my wedding, the TSA agent pulled me aside and said, "You're on the no-fly list for what you did last night." I stared at him confused. I had no memory of last night. "What do you mean what I did last night?" The agent looked at his screen. "Sir, you were at this airport at 2 a.m. You tried to force your way through security without a ticket, but I was never at the airport. I was at a bar, or so I thought. There must be some mistake," I said, but he frowned at me. "Nope, you were arrested and released at 4 a.m. You're banned from flying, buddy. My wedding was in 16 hours. My fiancée Mira was waiting for me back home. I had to get there. Please, I'm getting married today. There has to be something." He shook his head. "I can't help you, but the airline supervisor might be able to override it. Gate 34. Ask for Dolores." I ran to gate 34 and found Dolores at the desk. Older woman, reading glasses. I explained everything to her. She started taking notes, but as soon as I mentioned my name, she stopped typing. She frowned and looked up at me over her glasses. "Honey, I've seen a lot in 30 years, but what you did last night," she whistled. "Yikes, you're flagged at the federal level. There's nothing I can do." My jaw dropped. Federal level? What the hell did I do? Threatened to assassinate the president or something? She looked over my file. "You attempted to breach security, assaulted an officer, and had to be tased." I was tased? She pointed down the terminal. "Airport police processed your arrest. End of the hall. Maybe they can tell you more." I found an officer at the station. He pulled up my file, started reading, then stopped. "Oh, you're that guy." He turned his monitor toward me and showed the security footage. Timestamp 2:14 a.m. Me stumbling toward TSA. No shoes, shirt half unbuttoned, screaming, "I have identification. I am an American citizen. Let me through." I watched myself duck under an agent's arm, get tackled, break free, and sprint toward the metal detector. Then I got hit with a taser and went down hard. Even twitching on the ground, I was still trying to crawl forward. The officer looked at me. "You kept screaming that someone named Mira wasn't answering, that something was wrong, that you had to get home." I had no memory of any of this. "Some guy named Sullivan picked you up around 4 a.m. Sully, my best friend. He bailed me out." I reached for my phone to call him, but the screen was shattered and it wouldn't turn on. Must have happened when I hit the floor. Reyes pointed to the payphone in the corner. "That still works." I called Sully's number. He picked up first ring. "Where are you?" he asked. "Airport. I can't fly. They banned me." "What happened last night?" Sully paused. "I'll explain in the car. Parking garage. Level 2. Hurry." I found him 20 minutes later in a rented SUV with the engine running. The second I got in, he started driving. "The drive is 14 hours if I don't stop. We might make it on time." I looked at him. "Sully, tell me what happened." He started talking. "You got a text from Mira's sister at 1 a.m. It said, 'Something happened with Mira. Call me.' And you just broke." "Broke how?" "You tried calling Mira over and over. She didn't answer. So you started spiraling, talking about your dad, about Theo. Then you bolted." My stomach turned because I knew exactly what he was talking about. "My dad died of a heart attack when I was 12, the night before my parents' vow renewal. Then Theo, my friend from college. The night before his wedding, he fell asleep at the wheel driving home from his bachelor party. Died on impact. 2 people I loved, both gone the night before the most important day of their lives. I'm still traumatized by it. Drunk me got that 'something is wrong with Mira' text, called her, and she didn't answer. So my brain went to the only place it knows. She's gone, just like them." I turned to Sully again. "I need to call Mira." Sully shook his head. "You think I didn't try? I've been calling her all morning. She's not answering. Her sister too. Nobody's picking up." My heart rate spiked. Was Mira okay? Me and Sully drove in silence for 14 hours. No phone. No way to know if she was alive. We pulled into the parking lot of the venue with 90 minutes left and ran inside. The wedding coordinator saw me first. Her face went pale. "Oh my god, you made it. Where's Mira?" She hesitated. "Where is she?" The woman took my hand and sat me down. "There was an accident last night at the bachelorette party. She had to be taken to the hospital immediately. St. Mary's. That's all I know." I was already running back to the car before she was even finished. The drive to St. Mary's was 7 minutes. Longest 7 minutes of my life. At the front desk, I gave my wife's information. "Room 208, second floor." I took the stairs 3 at a time. I found the room and pushed through the open door. And there she was, Mira, sitting up in bed, arm bandaged wrist to elbow, her mom next to her. Mira smiled. "Took you long enough." I couldn't move, just stood there shaking. "You're alive." She looked at me funny. "Of course I'm alive. I just fell through a glass table. Had to get 12 stitches, but I'm okay." I collapsed into the chair and grabbed her hand. Then I told her everything. The text, the airport, the 14-hour drive. And then I told her what I'd never told anyone. My dad, Theo, why drunk me broke when she didn't answer her phone. She was quiet for a long time. Then she spoke. "You smell like an airport floor, and we're supposed to get married in 20 minutes." I smiled. "Good thing there's a chapel downstairs."